Okay, that's the first phrase in the Bach Chorale Aus meines Herzens Grunde, and that is the first chorale in the Riemenschneider edition of the Bach Chorales, the 371 harmonized chorales, written out so they're easy to read on the piano. And there's a link to this book below. And I strongly recommend the study of the Bach chorales for anyone that wants to understand harmony. Myself, being a jazz pianist, understanding harmony is essential, and understanding Bach four-part writing is absolutely mandatory to understanding harmony in Western music of all types. Anyway, well, let's start here. Bach, it's a four-voice chorale, like all of Bach's chorales are. Baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. So we start on, it's in G major, G chord, C, passing tone in the tenor. Okay, now to the D with an F sharp in the bass. Second measure, we start with that, which is the G. Becomes a B minor very quickly. B minor 7th, E minor. We have a very dissonant chord here, but a very beautiful chord. You see, Bach plays chords that Stravinsky might play centuries later, but he's very sneaky about it. He's very subtle. Okay, some people don't like the word sneaky, so I'll use the word subtle. However, subtle does mean sneaky. Okay, so this is an interesting chord. Here he's got the C major 7th with the major 7th in the bass, quickly becomes an A minor. Okay, that takes us to the first fermata. G, D with an F sharp in the bass. Okay, that's a whole beat, that chord, and that is basically a G major with the 6th added in the alto voice. Now we have an F sharp diminished. D, D 7th, G. Okay, now that brings us to the repeat, and we won't repeat, we're going to go ahead. G, now the passing tone that Bach uses here makes it a G major 7th, just for half a beat. A minor with this passing tone in the alto, which makes it an F sharp diminished with an A in the bass. Next chord, the G with the B in the bass. You have this passing tone, a beautiful chord. Very 20th century sounding again. He continues the next measure. You have the G with the 2 passing tones. Okay, next fermata brings us to the D, E minor. Okay, this measure starts with the E minor. This G major 7th, which becomes a G. In A minor with the C in the bass. Okay, now here's really a G with the A suspended from the previous chord in the alto. See the suspension goes down to the G. Bass climbs up here. We get this very interesting, very beautiful harmony. And then we go to the D. 7th, well, it starts as a D7 sus, see? And the alto voice turns it into a D7th. Now we have the G, bass climbing up here. Now the first non-chord tone brings us to the G7th, so we have some textbook harmony here. The G7th going to the C. C, that's the next fermata. Then we have the G. Okay, the D with an F sharp in the bass. Tenor going down, making it a D7th. And then we have the G with the suspended note, making it a G add 9th, resolving to the G. So we have a G dominant, a G major chord there. F sharp diminished with A in the bass. G with a B. G. D. D7th. Now, the Z minor with the added 9th. A suspension in the alto. We went. See, so that's held over. Now, the alto goes down a whole step, the bass goes down a whole step, making it an E minor with the D in the bass. C major. And that becomes the F sharp diminished with the A in the bass. Now, so here we have, this great bass line here. The D, which is a fermata, and then the next final phrase, G. Okay, another G again with this added 9th, which is really an anticipation. The alto voice is an anticipation because as the bass moves down, it turns into a D with an F sharp in the bass. Then we have the C with an E in the bass. We have this passing tone of F sharp in the alto. Brings to E minor with an E in the bass. Now this is going to turn into it's an A minor 7th with a C in the bass. And that D7th. And that's the whole chorale. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.